Hello, and welcome to our Lunch and Learn presentation on how to use our seed library. My name is Christy Lish, and I am an adult services programmer at the Fredericksburg Branch, and I also run the seed library. I'm one of a team of people who runs it. I would like to tell you today about our seed library at the Fredericksburg Branch. I am so excited to be able to share this information with you. For some people, this is a new concept. Maybe they've never heard of seed libraries. Maybe you've heard of them, but you didn't really know how they worked. Today, we're going to tell you how it works here at our seed library and how you can use it, and a little bit about the seed library movement nationally and even worldwide. So let's get started. So the seed library concept is something that's catching on. The idea in a very short few words is you borrow seeds from the seed library, you plant them in your own garden, you save some of them at harvest, and then you bring them back to the library to share with other people in the community, which is a very good way to be involved in your community and to feel like you're contributing and doing something what you love. I know a lot of us love to garden. Let me tell you a little bit about what a seed library is. Seed libraries emphasize education, awareness, and empowerment over the safeguarding of genetic information. They act as traditional, there we go, so we can see everything. They act as traditional libraries and lend the information to anyone who's interested. Individuals can go to seed libraries and take seeds that they would like to grow. Ideally, the seeds from the garden that are grown would then be returned to the library for growing the next year for someone else. The strength of seed libraries is in their ability to educate, to build community, provide seeds to anyone who wants them, and spread enjoyment around saving and sharing seeds. Each seed library is different. Everywhere you go, it's going to look a little different, but they're all guided by a recognition of the importance of seeds and the desire to share and educate about that importance. I wanted to show a few examples just so you can get an idea of the possibilities with seed libraries. This is a little free seed library, a lot like the concept of the little free book libraries that you'll see popping up different places. This is probably started by a community group. It's a small scale version of sharing seeds. This is a picture of a small public library. I believe this one is in Duluth, Minnesota. There are many ways to package and store and lend out seeds. You can see that this seed library looks like they package their own seeds, but they also have a binder for membership registration forms, and that's something that we don't do here. We don't have a membership registration. Anyone can come in and use our seeds. And this is a picture of a larger library display. It's visually very nice. They have a lot of good information here. They have a big variety of seeds. They even have, if you look down at the bottom of their table, they even have information pages that are in different languages that you can see hanging from the tables, which is a great way for people from all over the place that they can get, of different languages, they can get information, which is a great idea. So now we have a picture of our Curl library, our Central Rappahannock Seed Library. Ours generally looks like this. Sometimes we change it up a little bit, put different kinds of information things on there. We've repurposed our old antique card catalog for the seed packets. We have each drawer labeled with what type of seed it is. This is located on the 3rd floor of the Fredericksburg Branch, which is located downtown Fredericksburg at 1201 Caroline Street. We'll talk more about what is included in our seed library in just a moment. Why do you think that we have seed libraries? What is the purpose? You can go out and buy seeds anywhere. You can use your catalogs and all this. Why would we have seed libraries for people to share with one another? Some reasons are this increases access to locally grown food. Seed libraries produce local resilience. They have a way of promoting food security in the community. They preserve stories and culture. If you share your seed stories and how you grow your seeds and the things that you do to get them to produce well. It also promotes seed saving. A lot of people don't know how to save seeds successfully anymore. Seed libraries promote community building. There's a lot of community effort that goes into building a seed library, and this is one way to do it. It also increases and preserves the genetic diversity of the types of food that is grown in an area. Seed libraries are a proactive response to climate change, and there's a desire to strengthen genetically honest seed whenever you have seed libraries. So we'll talk more about what heirloom seeds are, what hybrid seeds are, what cross-pollination is, and all that in just a few moments. The heirloom plant resurgence has started getting more and more popular. If you go to a food market, a farmer's market, you'll probably see heirloom plants. And if you've never really known what they are, heirloom seeds are true to type, meaning that they reproduce with the same qualities as the parent plant. This is in contrast to hybrid seeds, which will not reproduce with the same qualities. If you try to grow an heirloom plant, your plant will have the new plant will have the same qualities as that parent plant. If you try to plant hybrid seeds, which have been genetically modified, you will not get the same quality. They probably will not taste nearly as well. They may not look the same. Hybrid seeds do not reproduce with the same qualities as the parent plant. One of the challenges with hybrids, though, is that they evolved before genetic resistance to disease or insects was even possible. So it's a little bit more challenging to grow heirlooms. If you see in this picture Brandywine tomatoes, which are delicious tomatoes, they're heirlooms. They're one of probably the most well-known heirloom tomatoes. But they are susceptible to wilt, which that can wipe out the whole crop if you get a case of wilt. So you have to really be careful and be educated in how you grow heirlooms. It's not impossible, but you just have to do a little bit more research. There are other examples of some things, hybrid tomatoes, Better Boy tomatoes, Early Girl tomatoes. That's one of my favorite. You can see a picture of Early Girl. They're beautiful tomatoes. They taste good. But I would not save the seeds from those because they are hybrids and they're not going to reproduce in the same way. Celebrity tomatoes, beefsteak tomatoes are very well known. These are they're good tomatoes, but they are not reproducible. Supermarkets choose to produce and only sell uniform, easy to grow variety of fruits and vegetables and grains because it's easier to grow one crop at a time and to spray it with the same pesticides and the same amount of water. But people are choosing to support farmers markets and local chemical-free crops instead as a way of avoiding GMOs. This support has also led to the resurgence of some heirloom plants, which dedicated small-scale farmers are putting time and energy into acquiring and growing, not for the love of profit, but for the love of the labor and the love of seed biodiversity. This graphic shows the comparative numbers of varieties. This is just to show you how things have changed over the years with growing plants. The varieties of 10 common U.S. crops, and you can see them. They're listed on the side. These are the same 10 plants on both of those graphics. Between the years of 1903 and 1983. So these were the numbers of varieties that were commercially available. You can see that there were far more varieties of seeds in the early 1900s than there were 80 years later in 1983. So today, the number of these are rising again with the popularity of seed saving. So The diversity of seeds has greatly decreased and continues to decrease in commercial agriculture. But again, with heirloom varieties and people being educated about how to grow them, we're seeing more diversity again, which is a great thing. Let's talk a little bit about the seed library here at the Central Rappahannock Regional Library. So we looked around and tried to find some libraries in this area and just couldn't find any. So we decided to start one in April of 2024. It's housed in the Fredericksburg Branch on the 3rd floor. We have a large variety of vegetables, fruits, native wildflowers, herbs, annual flowers, and perennials. But we don't keep all of these out at the same time. We keep some in storage when they're not seasonal. For example, in the fall, we stock perennials and herbs when you'd commonly be planting some of those. In the early spring, we stock cool weather, frost hardy seeds like lettuce, kale, spinach, peas. Those are some of the seeds that you can find right now if you come into the seed library in the next week or so. And then we're going to be putting out some more things that will be more commonly grown when it gets a little bit warmer, or when you can start them indoors and it's closer to the last frost date and things like that. We usually stock our herbs year round because a lot of people plant herbs in the house. They like to grow them on kitchen windowsills and things. So we can usually find those throughout the year. Seed packets. So I wanted to show you some examples of our seed packets. This is a seed packet that we have. You can see that we have labeled them with lots of information. We've got a picture of the plant. We've got information about the sun requirements, the germination rate, the planting tips and things like that. Here is some, what is that, arugula, and you can see information about that. This is one, a Swiss chard package. So we have tried to provide all the information that you need to get started. It would be good for you to do some of your own research too if you want more details. And you can also go to our website. If you go to our website and search for Seed Library, we have our own page, and you will find a list of all of the things that we are currently stocking, what's available. We will mark if it's not available, if we've run out of stock of some of those things. But that you can do when you come in. You can take a look at what we've got also. We have informational handouts in our seed library. We have planting schedules, various how-tos, and we keep those relevant to the things that we're stocking in our seed library. There's also a donation basket, and we have a simple donation form if you would like to drop off some seeds that you have grown, or maybe some extra seeds in a packet that you did not need all of them and you want to share the extra with us. You can drop those off. And we'll talk a little bit more about how to bring your donations in just a moment. When you come in, you can browse our list, or you can browse our seeds in our card catalog, and you'll see a sign-out sheet. We call it a checkout sheet, but it's not like checking out a book. You do not have to use your library card or anything. You can check out, you can take as many as 10 packets of seeds at a time. All we ask you to do is to sign your name and which seeds that you took, the date, so that we can keep track. And we also have a place where you can add your email address if you'd like to keep up to date and receive emails about anything new that we add to our list. But you can also see our latest things on our seed library page. So make sure and check that out. We've also got a list of our programs and other links to helpful things that you can go to find out more information about growing. For donating, when you take the seeds home, plant them, harvest them, let some of them go to seed if you're able to. Bring some of the seeds back to the seed library and share with other people in the community. It's a way of being a part of your community effort for biodiversity and growing and things like that. Our seed donation form is very simple. You can see all you do is list the name of the plant, the variety, if it's a flower, if you put the colors, the year that you harvested them, That's so that we know how current the seeds are, how viable they are. If you know if it's heirloom, you can mark that. And then any tips for growing. You may have learned some secrets for, amount of water that you need to give it, or just the right places that you grow them, a little bit of sun, a little bit of shade. So make sure and share any of those tips with us that you have. A few things that we would like you to remember when sharing seeds from the seed with the seed library. We would like you to bring non-hybrid open pollinated seeds only. Please don't bring us any hybrids. We cannot give those away because people are not going to be able to reproduce those and share with us. We don't want to be giving out seeds that are not true to type. Try to avoid cross-pollinated seeds. Make sure and observe growing distances between different varieties of the same plant. Like, for example, if you grow squash, if you grow it too closely, two different kinds of squash, they could cross-pollinate, and then you're going to get a completely different type of fruit from that. And there are other varieties that cross-pollinate easily. So we want to make sure that you've grown responsibly and that you have made every effort you can to not have cross-pollinated seeds. The next thing, we ask you to bring only non-invasive species of plants. This is especially important with perennials and wildflowers and other types of things that could be invasive to Virginia. And if you're not sure if it's invasive to our region, you can go to the Virginia Department of Conservation and Recreation website. And they have a very good list of things that are invasive to Virginia. So we want to be careful not to spread invasive species around. So one last thing, when you're sharing seeds with the seed library, please screen and thresh your seeds before you bring them to us. We don't have the time or the staff to clean seeds. You can see in this picture, in these pictures, some examples of different types of seeds that have not been cleaned. And you can see that it takes a long time to get each of those cleaned. We would appreciate it if you would do that before you bring them to us. It's easier for you to do just a few than for us to do a lot. And we do have some volunteers that can do it. So if you say, well, I can't, I just don't have time, bring them to us. Anyway, if you absolutely can't clean them, but we would prefer if you would clean them first. So I wanted to share some of our gardening programs. We have so many good gardening programs at the library. Some of them are here at our Fredericksburg branch, and some are at some of our other branches. Excellent partners that have partnered with us to do these programs. The first one is Downtown Greens. They are doing a monthly series of gardening workshops for us here at the Fredericksburg branch on the first Tuesdays of each month from 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock in the morning. The one coming up next week on March 4th is Protect Your Garden from Wildlife and Insects. Then on April 1st, we have composting, Feed Your Garden with compost. May 6th, it's Foraging Basics, Safely Gather Wild Edibles. That one should be really interesting. And the Master Gardeners have also, they've been a big part of getting our seed library started, and we're very appreciative to them for donations of seeds and for their programs that they're doing for us. We have plant clinics at the Porter branch in North Stafford and also here at the Fredericksburg branch at various times and on various dates. They do them on a regular basis. Bring your plants in and they'll give you some help if you've got an ailing plant. There's a lawn care tips from a master gardener coming up at Salem Church branch on March 15th. And the R Board, which is the Rappahannock Regional Landfill, they do workshops on composting, backyard composting. The next one coming up is on March 19th in the evening. And then finally, Downtown Greens is doing a lunch and learn on vibrant vegetables right in the middle of April when you're going to be getting ready to start your garden outside. So come and tune in for the lunch and learn on that Friday and get some tips and advice from them. And if you would like more information about the worldwide seed library movement, There's a seed library network that you can go to, seedlibrarynetwork.org. They usually have a map of all the seed libraries throughout the world. Right now, I have not been able to access it. I'm not sure if they're updating that, but we are on that. If you can get it to work, you can look in Fredericksburg and you'll find us. You can also go to the Old Farmer's Almanac website. That's almanac.com, seed libraries. And that's especially with public libraries. So there's an article about how the public libraries have spread the seed library movement. And then there's a series of podcasts on SoundCloud called Seed Broadcast. And you can hear some stories about people who shared some of their ideas of how they've done seed libraries in their communities. So I hope you've learned some things about seed libraries and what we're doing here at the Fredericksburg branch. I hope this has answered a few of your questions. I hope you'll come in and see us. We love to answer questions if you come in. We love to have volunteers if you're ever free to help package seeds. You can go to our website and go to our volunteer form, fill that out, and we will contact you and set up a time if you would like to come in and help with it. Make sure and come to some of our programs. They've all been very excellent. All of the program partners that we've had have been really informative. And it's well worth your time if you are if you're interested in learning more about gardening. So I hope to see you sometime soon. Come up to the 3rd floor of the Fredericksburg branch. And I hope you have a wonderful growing season, a good summer, and I hope you get lots of good produce and flowers and all the good things. Thank you very much.